Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Kasper and on this channel I practice my English speaking skills. And today is day 23 of my English speaking challenge where I try to answer some questions related to a speaking exam, CAE. Yeah. So this challenge is pretty difficult because I'm forced to speak off the cuff about some often difficult subjects. Today's topic is all about employment and what is a good job. And answering that off the cuff without any preparations is really challenging. And what are the challenges? Mm, I need to focus a lot and I need to do my best to try to speak fluently about these questions, to use wide range of vocabulary, but it isn't that easy. So, but I think I'm making good progress. Um, for example, when I compare the latest video of mine to the video that I recorded a month ago, gosh, that is a real progress. But yeah, that was a small digression. So today's speaking practice session is all about what is a good job. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. So let me start with this one. What is a good job? I don't want to repeat myself, but I need to put an emphasis on it. It's a matter of a personal choice, but for me personally, um, a good job is the one that meets a few criteria. First and foremost, a good job is the one that is well paid. And what is a well-paid job? That's another good one. For anyone, it can mean something totally different. But for me, I'm a pretty modest person. Uh, I guess I don't need fancy clothes. I don't I don't have a car because I don't feel the need of having one. I go everywhere on foot, and that's enough. My girlfriend also isn't a driver. She doesn't feel the necessity of becoming one, and we can afford a car, but we don't want to. We rarely need to go somewhere, I mean, to far-flung places, and when we have to go there, we just take a bus or take a train. There's no need. But where am I going with it? To nowhere, really. I'm going to let my speech flow. I'm going to let my thoughts flow. And maybe I can share something interesting thoughts with you guys. All right. But where was I with this? Yeah, I was talking about a well-paid job. Well-paid job. What does it mean? So, and first and foremost, a well-paid job is the one that gives you enough money to meet your financial needs. And I'm really glad that I have this sort of job. Of course, I don't earn plenty of money because I'm a manager in the factory that manufactures gas meters. So I don't earn a lot, but it's enough to make my ends meet and to keep the wolf out of the door. I believe it's the correct idiom. I'm going to check it later on the internet. Never mind, let's don't focus on it right now. Uh, hmm. I've just heard a child is screaming on the hallway. And the door slammed. It can be pretty loud here sometimes because of the neighbors, but I'm sure you didn't hear it. I'm going to check it later on the video. So, moving back, a lot of digressions today, but I have to admit that I work late shifts. I worked late shifts this week, and I lack sleep. I I've slept for 4 hours today, and I feel pretty tired, and I find it really difficult to focus my attention on anything because working night shifts can be really tiring, and in the long run it can have a bad effect on your health. But I'm still a strong, young, healthy guy, and I can handle it. And as I've said, I earn enough money to meet my financial needs, so I'm pleased with my job, and I don't want to change it anytime soon. All right, but moving back to the subject, a well-paid job for someone can meet the job that makes you rich, but that doesn't happen very often. Most of the people I know, my social circle, consists of people that earn just enough money. I don't know anyone who is rich. I knew someone, but his company went bankrupt. So it's a shame for him. I didn't wish him bad. I really wanted him to get out of his troubles, but life is harsh sometimes. Alright, tons of digressions. Let me go to another question. What is a interesting job? Let it put it this way. I don't believe that your job should be interesting. Your job, in my opinion, is a tool that allows you to live on this earth. It may sound it may sound a bit weird, but I think that's the truth. Since I was young, everyone told me, I mean, the society, my teachers, my parents, that your job should be interesting. It should be creative, and in that you should have a job that allows you to develop your professional, social skills, so on and so on. But most of us, I mean, most of ordinary people, don't have this sort of job, and they feel unsatisfied because of that, because their needs, how do I say it? Their needs aren't met, and they can feel dissatisfaction with their job. Yeah. And so I don't believe that an interesting job really exists. No, it's a lie actually. It exists. Those jobs exist, but they are often out of the reach of an ordinary person. Your job is a tool, and if you treat it this way, you will feel more fulfillment in my opinion. It worked for me personally, so it may work for you. If you are dissatisfied with your job, you can get new qualifications. If you live in the Western world, as I live, there are no real excuses for you. There are plenty of options for you to develop your professional skills. You can go back to school, you can enroll on some courses, and there are so many ways for you to learn new skills that can come in handy in looking for a new job. There are no excuses. It may sound controversial, but if you are stuck in a dead-end job or in the run-of-the-mill job, it's your fault. I could be wrong, it may sound really harsh, but that's my opinion, and you may disagree, but you need to respect it. You don't need to respect it, but it would be nice. So, maybe I can tell you a few words about what makes my job interesting, because I think it can be interesting sometimes. Um, I work as a manager on, sorry, I work as a manager in the factory that manufactures gas meters, and I supervise the work of 17 people at this moment, at the moment of making this video. And it can be really challenging, but also it can makes it interesting, even though sometimes I feel totally drenched after finishing my shift. This job can be extremely tiring sometimes, but does it give me a satisfaction? Not really, but I do feel that I do something really important, and the job requires a lot of responsibility from me. And if I do something wrong, if I make some serious mistake, there will be sorry, there will be some consequences. Not for me, but for the factory as the whole. It's not a high power job, but I have a few people under me. And I want to add that there are no 2 days that are the same. Every day at my work is totally different. But how do I say it? My main responsibility in my job is to solve the problems that make the process of producing gas meters difficult. So if I don't know, a computer crashes, or if a machine gets out of work, I'm not really sure how to say it. I mean, it stops working. I need to repair it to make it work again. And it can be sometimes challenging, but for the right sort of person, challenges are interesting. And that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. Challenges make your job interesting if you are the right sort of person. Not everyone wants a challenging job. I think for most of us, all we want is the security of your job. We don't like challenges at all. We just want to do our job and to have some peace and quiet at work. So that's my opinion on the matter. Moving on to another one, but I've been recording this video for 15 minutes by now, and I'm not close to an end. And that's great, because the more I speak, the easier it will be for me to speak in the future. So I'm starting to feel the flow of my speech, and that's a great feeling. So, moving to the next question: what is a secure job? Another great question to answer, and I will gladly answer it. So, a secure job, first of all, is the job that gives you enough money, as I've stated many times in this video. Another aspect of job security is that, I don't know the word. I mean, it's the document that you sign with your employer, yeah. Uh, the document that allows you to work. Let me check it quickly. Employment contract. Another aspect of job security, and I think the most important one is, what was the word again? Employment contract. A long-term employment contract. And if you don't have security in that sense of this word, if your contract expires soon, you won't feel job security, and it can have a bad effect on your mental health, because I firmly believe that we as people, we all need security in some sense, and there are a few aspects of it, and one of the most important ones is job security. If you have a secure job, you can allow yourself to pay your rent, your mortgage, to have some money, to make some savings. Uh, you can afford, you would be able to afford uh, some pleasures, maybe go on holiday once a year, and so on. And if you don't have that sort of contract, you're not going to have any of them. And if you don't have a secure job, you will get anxious, you will feel a lot of stress, because, speaking from my own experience, don't having a job is terrifying. I was unemployed in the past. I was jobless for a few months, and I was observing as my savings were getting smaller and smaller with every day that I spent some money, and it can be pretty stressful. So yeah, that was my take on this point. Moving on to the last one. So to finish this video, I'd like to say a few words about good working conditions. What are good working conditions? It isn't as easy to answer as it may seem, because on the one hand, your employer uh, needs to make safe surroundings for you, to make your job. No, it isn't English. Where, how do I express myself for you to understand it? Your job needs to meet a few great standards. I mean, in terms of safety. Your boss doesn't have a right to harass you, or I lack vocabulary on this subject. You need to have a good boss, because a bad boss can make your job a living hell. I had rather bad bosses in my previous jobs, and it can be a real challenge to work with this sort of person. So one of the crucial things about good working conditions is your job, is your boss. A good boss equals good working conditions. The bad ones equals, you get the point. So, good working conditions also mean for me that you work stable hours. I mean by that you work a 9 to 5 job. As I've mentioned, I work on 3 shifts: early, the second shifts, and the night shifts. And let's face it, these are not good working conditions to work unstable hours. And if you have stable hours, not so ungodly ones, you are healthier overall. You feel less stress, you can plan your day, and the list goes on and on. Alright, it's been more than 20 minutes of my recording. There was a lot of rambling in this video. I find it really difficult for me to express myself unprepared. Today's topic was especially challenging for me. I stumbled many times. I lack an important vocabulary, but overall I think I did a pretty good job, because to speak on the camera for 20 minutes for a non-native speaker is a real task. It's a hard task. It isn't easy for you to do that in your native language. In my opinion, it can also be a challenging task, not an easy one, that's for sure. But alright, enough of the rambling for today. That was a very fruitful speaking session. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. And let me say bye for now. So, bye.